Yes, yes, yes. What's going? Oh, I was doing some sound editing. I kind of forgot I had those on until I started talking out loud. What is going on, everybody? How we doing tonight? It's been a wild week. What's going on, Darth Magus? Nelson, my brother. How we doing? Soldier, Beck. Got a lot of the usual suspects here hanging out with us tonight. Welcome. Welcome. It's been an absolutely crazy week in the world of gaming, and I think that a nice chill stream is exactly what the doctor ordered tonight. So welcome to the stream. If you are new here, I don't think there's any new people here tonight. I'm Ray. We do this on the regular. I keep it very low key. I've got the new layout completely done for those of you all who've been keeping track of things with me here for a while. I've got the workbench over here now. I've got all my physical media on display directly behind me here. So it's, yeah. So I'm going to talk about that first. I'm just going to get that out of the way because, like, a lot of this it's been a very, I don't want to say divisive, but it's brought a lot of sleeping fury that people had in them out. I've been kind of retweeting and sharing stuff, trolly stuff that I see on social media. I think it's hilarious when these boardroom jerks get it taken to them by fan bases. I think it's awesome when that happens because every now and then these people in charge need to be checked, you know. So there are a number of, sorry, I was checking on my cat. There are a lot of people out there that are just, you know, this way or that way on it. I don't get what the big deal is. I'm just going to say this, for my part, this is a big deal. Sony coming out and saying, hey, we're not going to make physical games anymore as of January 1, 2028. Enjoy the next year and a half you have with your physical games. This is we all have digital games. We've got physical games. You know, it's usually a matter of convenience. Like if I want to play something at midnight, I don't think it's going to be here for me to play it at midnight and stream with you all. I'll get a digital copy of it. No problem. I'll usually get the physical copy of it when it's on sale later or something like that. So I've got it on my shelf. I did that with Tales of Elliot, or Adventures of Elliot. I'm still calling it Tales of Elliot. Adventures of Elliot, because I really wanted to play that at midnight when it came out. Really wanted to play that at release. But when it's on sale later this year, like Black Friday or something like that, I'll pick up the physical copy and I'll put it on my shelf. Done. This is a problem, though, and everybody keeps throwing that stat out there. 20% of people only buy physical. That's a half-hearted stat. That's not taking into account used game sale numbers. That's new game sales, physical new game sales. A lot of people that are going to buy physical games, you've got lower income people that go to GameStop and they buy used games a year after they've come out, buy 3 or 4 at a time. You know, spend $100 and get like 3 or 4 games. You can't do that with digital. They'll have digital sales, but who's to say those digital sales are still going to be around when you don't have any other option? That's the thing. They're removing a choice from people. That's why people are mad. It's not people are just like spilling their beer over, oh my God, I can't have my physical games on my shelf. That's not what it's about. That's part of what it's about. But a lot of people buy used games. Can't buy an $80 video game. Can't do it. A lot of people, they're on a very tight budget, strict budgets. They're not going to be able to afford a $1,000 video game system, so a lot of people are going to be out after the life of the PS5 anyway. All indicators are pointing to that PS6 being anywhere from $900 to $1,100. I'm not buying that. No way. That's a waste of money. As far as for me personally. You do you. You might be rich watching this. I don't know. I don't know what your financial situation is, but I can tell you for a fact, mine ain't that. And a lot of other people I know, it ain't that. Couple that with $80 to $100 video games, it's quickly going to get out of control. It is quickly going to get out of control. But thinking of like used game shops, GameStops, mom and pop stores, stuff like that, preserving it. There's games from PS3 that I lost access to long ago. Long ago, because I bought the digital versions. I was like, hey, the PS3 era, I was like big into like buying digital stuff. I bought digital TV shows. Like, I don't know if you all remember the show Hell on Wheels on AMC. I bought the first 2 seasons. Every time a new episode would come out, it was $1.99 for the episode. I'd buy it and just watch it. And I'd watch it like on the go, or I'd watch it, take my PlayStation down to my dad's house for the holidays and watch it. I had all the Tenchi Muyo movies digitally on there just to watch them. Of course, I've got them on my shelf too. Thank God for physical media, right? And due to licensing and contractual stuff, all of my video gone. That I've probably lost about $600 between games and movies and videos and digital purchases that I've just lost over the years. So when I started getting digital like movies and stuff like that, I started screen cap recording them whenever I'd get like a new video. Screen cap record. I don't play that game anymore. And to be fair, I've known for about 1.5 years, and it's not like it's insider stuff. The writing is on the wall if you know what to look for. Sony has been moving to get rid of physical games, getting people primed and ready for this for 1.5 years. I just thought we would get this announcement in 2027 as like a state of play or something like that. Oh, or like an informational kind of thing. The fact that they just put up a half-hearted tweet, and make no mistake, this is about Rockstar. This is about Grand Theft Auto 6. Whether or not they were trying to get Rockstar's back, or they were, coming out in defense of Rockstar. It's like I've said, there's a whole lot of, in the gaming industry and in entertainment and everything else in between, the old middle school mentality of, oh, this girl or this boy I really like is this way. I'm going to get behind them and maybe they'll just be exclusive and with me and like me. And that never happens. The boy or the girl goes on about their business like you didn't exist. It's like PlayStation, it kind of looks like they've got that kind of bitch-made attitude when it comes to this Grand Theft Auto stuff. Because the PlayStation 6 no more, or not even just PlayStation 6, but no more physical media at the end of the life of the PS5. That announcement came out of nowhere. Nowhere. And so, rightfully so, all these companies are clowning them. But here's what Sony's doing right now. They know that after 48 to 72 hours, the people who are in this for recreational outrage, and make no mistake, there's a big part of it. That's probably 60 to 70% of the people talking online right now. They're going to forget about it, and they're going to jump to the next thing to be outraged about. That's just how humans are. We don't have a whole lot of like conflicts anymore. Like, human beings have a need to bleed conflict out of their system, right? That's part of our duality, right? Mine is, I'm a dad. I'm a loving dad. Anytime anything remotely crosswise happens with my son, I'm ready to rip someone apart and put them through a wall. Just how it is. That has to come out sometimes. So we've had no real conflicts. Like, no world wars. People aren't getting drafted to go to war and stuff like that anymore. And like, none of that kind of stuff going on. So people get online and they find a thing to champion, and then it's 48 to 72 hours of, outrageous bliss. Sony knows this. They're waiting this thing out. They're waiting for people to get over it. But that's my point. If you feel strongly about it, don't get over it. Keep the pedal on the gas. Now, I don't think Sony's going to backtrack this. Like, I would think you got to find a way to fix this. But here's the thing. They're not going to. I really don't think they're going to. I would hope. The reason I got upset about this was because it kind of confirmed what I felt about Sony for a long time. As a guy who's been playing PlayStation since the original PlayStation. I go over to my friend's house in 95, 96 and play their PlayStation. I was playing Descent in the long cardboard box. I was playing the first Madden they put out. I mean, we were playing PlayStation, since 1995, 1996. And then, of course, I've shared with you all when I got my first PlayStation, Final Fantasy VII, rest is history, right? PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5. It read like, and it's completely a bunch of shareholders up in a tower somewhere wanting to get a 500 to 1,000% return on their ROI and saying, okay, well, we can exit this little bit by getting rid of physical media. Fine. Do that. We can charge whatever we want for the games. We don't, if people want to play the games, they have to come here. They don't have to go to GameStop anymore. They don't have to borrow it from their friend anymore. They have to come here. This is really going to skyrocket our profits, and it backfired. And I couldn't love it more. I've been laughing my ass off for the last 36 hours. Laughing my ass off. And I've felt for a while that it was funny. I said laughing my ass off last time, and my cat goes meow, like good on you. I have felt for a while that the PlayStation 5 is my last PlayStation. I might get 10 years out of it. That puts me... Look, if I play this PlayStation 5 for the next 7 to 8 years, that puts me in my early to mid 50s. That's probably a wrap at that point. You know what I mean? Because hopefully I am so busy with the other projects I'm working on that I won't have time. There's games I don't have time to get to now. You all know. I mean, hell, I had to take a year in between Rebirth coming out to go and finish it, because I was just so slammed with work. It would have been irresponsible for me to stop and play video games. I was that busy. It was either because I had to work on animation stuff, I had to work on illustration and freelance artist stuff, I had to go to work at my night job, and I had to spend time with my family, which is top tier. That's the thing I want to do most. I just want to hang out on the couch and cuddle with my family all the time. That's all I want to do. I love loving my family, being a husband, being a father. That's the pinnacle for me, man. I love it. So I didn't have time for gaming at that point. And as I put the pedal to the metal on the projects I'm working on, there's going to be less time to game. But with my PS5 here, and my Switch 2 now, I have a Switch 2 now. I've got a PS5 and a Switch 2. I want to make time for the great stories that I know I enjoy. And at this point, I'm so busy at this point in my gaming life, my gaming career, that it has to be something that I know I'm into. I'll take a chance on an indie here and there. 20, 30 bucks, pick it up, play it, have a great time. But as far as taking 30 hours of my week and dumping it into something I don't know, Sony's asking a lot by telling people, hey, PS6 is going to be $1,000. A couple years before that comes out, we're getting rid of your physical media. That's a big sell for a lot of people, right? And like I said, I go back to the point about physical media, GameStop, secondhand sales. People throwing this 20% physicals, all it's sold. That's not a real number. That's new game sales. Because you can't track. I mean, you can track, but it's not tracked in that number. All of the used game sales compiled from GameStop and mom-pop sales and flea markets and trading between friends. You can't put a statistic on that. It's closer to 60-40 with digital still winning, but it's closer to 60-40. But they don't want you to know that. They want to be able to control the price. They want to be able to eliminate all that stuff. And they want to be Nintendo Island. But here's the problem. Nintendo still makes physical media. They're still keeping GameStop open. PlayStation's going to stop selling physical media, but you still got Nintendo. They haven't said anything about that. Now, the virtual cards, the virtual game cards, that's a step in that direction, of course, and we've known that. And I'm not against digital games. I'm not. If you buy only digital games, that's fine. That's not what any of this is about. That's not what any of this is about. This is a bunch of rich fuckers up in a tower at Sony that don't give a damn about video games. And what did I tell you all 2 weeks ago? I said, what's going on with kind of Xbox, right? What's going on with Xbox? Now we're kind of seeing it rear its ugly head at Sony. You got a bunch of these investors trying to get 500 to 1,000% ROI on their investments. A return on investment. If you don't know what ROI is, return on investment. And in 10 years, if the gaming industry, if the hobby we love burns to the ground, they don't care because they maximize their profit. They got out and they're the locusts over the field. They're going to go to the next thing to invest in. That's it. That's what this is, people. And that's what pisses me off about it. Because you got people who don't give a shit about gaming making decisions about the thing that we all love. I love gaming because of the characters, the stories, and the careers of the artisans and the creators that all come together and make this beautiful art form, this media that we all love. And you got a bunch of people that don't give a shit about it making decisions, and that's what pisses me off. That's what pissed everybody else off. And I get it when people don't understand that part. All they know. There's a lot of people out there that all they know are stats and numbers and statistics. They haven't evolved as humans yet to get the feeling side of it, to get the emotion, the spiritual feeling side of it, to put yourself in someone else's shoes, to understand what's going on. I've been the broke, poor kid that can only get second-hand, third-hand shit or things that are given to them. I've been that kid. Now that kid's not going to have a game to open on Christmas. Now that kid's not going to get a game for his birthday. His or her. You know what I mean? That's what sucks about this whole thing. They're not thinking about the human element of this thing. They're only thinking about how can we maximize our profits. That's it. And they're not going to pass these savings on to you. They're putting it in their pocket. It's black and white. Like it's plain Jane. And it's, these people thrive on your ignorance. They want to keep people ignorant to these things. And they want to shut people like content creators up. I'm not even on the radar. I'm not saying, but people, big content creators who are speaking out about this stuff, that have a platform, they're speaking out. Pio came out on X and was going scorched earth, passion in his eyes, shaking the camera, because he got it. And he's got a huge platform. He gets invited to events. I mean, he's a cool dude too. But that guy and other people with a huge platform are talking about this, and they're not being nice about it. And they're not being nice about it because it's clear that Sony is making, the PlayStation are making these decisions and without any care for the people that put them there. Without any care. They're more worried about the suits and the investors, but you got to make those people happy too. You have to make those people happy too. In business, the people that are helping you out financially, you have to make them happy. But it cannot be at the expense of the people that are supporting your work, that are buying your games, that are buying your overpriced consoles, that are, it is ridiculous. So that's what's got me fired up about the whole thing. That's why I have been going on social media and sharing stuff, because it's sickening when you put business over people, especially when you're a video game company. You're a video game manufacturer of hardware and software. You've had some lackluster first-party games. The PlayStation Studio games over the last 4 or 5 years have been mediocre, to say the least. God of War was great. I'm not a God of War fan. They don't do a lot with the genre that I love, which is JRPGs. They make cookie-cutter action games and first-person shooters. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? None of this savings or cost cutting and killing studios, shutting down Blue Point. Are you serious? Are you serious? They're making some fouls, and it's good that people are checking them on it. Keep the pedal to the metal. Keep the foot on the gas with this stuff. Don't need to go easy on them. Don't. They got chased off social media for a day? Good. Make sure it's a week. Make sure it's a month. Make sure. Keep retweet. You know, Domino, everybody's like, you know, clowning that, you know, well, not clowning, but like celebrating that, like Domino's and even DeLorean and all these obscure brands and major brands are coming out, and they're just like clowning on Sony. I saw a couple on X tonight. They were, I forgot who they were, but they were like big companies, and I was like, wow, they're getting in on this. This is wild. This is wild. You know, but good. Deservedly so. I am beside myself with the negligence. Like, and not, this isn't like some morality thing or, but come on, man. Some basic decency. You've got people out there that could barely afford your machine. They can still barely afford a PS5. I know, I work with people that are like, man, you know, these bills, and you know, I got a couple of kids, and I got, you know, this and that. I'd love to be able to afford a PS5, and you know, I keep trying to find one used over here at GameStop, but they're still like, you know, $450 or $500 even. I'm like, those people will never survive, or as a gamer, they will never be able to enjoy gaming again because they can't afford $1,000 system, and they sure as hell can't afford $80 to $100 a game. Once a year, maybe once every 2 years, they could slide some cash for a game because they have other things going on. Like, this will lose the casual gamer. And some people are like, oh, well, who cares? Should care. The casual gamer makes up about probably 35 to 45% of gaming sales just in the United States. Now, Australia, United Kingdom, other places like that, I mean, it's probably more. If you throw everything in the world together, it's probably more. Probably more than that, you know? And people who are PC gamers that have a PlayStation, that are already digital on PC. Well, here's the thing. They're not going to buy a PS6. Like, the only people that are going to buy a PS6 are your PlayStation hardcores. Your PC gamers are not going to buy one. Your Xbox people probably are not going to buy one because your PlayStation first party titles have not been strong enough to sell the next system. And they've got a PC. The stuff they want to play is going to be on PC Steam anyway. The only thing you could hold from them are your first party games, and that's not going to be enough to move a $1,000 system. It's just not. And now you're doing this, you're exiling your PlayStation fans. Exiling them. It's hilarious. There was so little thought put into this just to get Grand Theft Autos back. Just to tell Rockstar, we got you. We got your back. Don't worry. We'll step in. We'll put our boots on. We'll put our work boots on. We'll show up, chest out, chin up, and be like, hey, PlayStation's behind us, and we are telling you that in 2028 you're not got physical games anyway, so get on board with Grand Theft Auto 6. FAFO. FAFO. They FA'd. Now they're finding out. And I couldn't be laughing harder. It's their job to know this is a bad idea. It's, as marketing people, and again, I talk about marketing a lot. I've done some freelance marketing and gaming, but the big marketing I did was industrial and just like industrial and building stuff. But it's all cheeseburgers and pizza, man. It's what they teach you in marketing. It's all cheeseburgers. You find what your audience loves. You find out what they love. You get to know the audience. You get to know what they love about it, and you figure out how to put that in front of them. That's your job in marketing. That's it. Learn your audience. Learn what they love. Put it in front of them. That's it. Those are the core principles in marketing. No one up there in Sony said, hey, this is a bad idea. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. FAFO. There it is. I think it's... So I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing. They, you know, it's very, comes off very corporate. Comes off very, you know, this low level communications person had to get together with two marketing people to talk about what they talked about in the boardroom, and the person over them told them, okay, this is what we got to type out. Let's lay it out, basic. Social media department's going to post it. We'll be fine. What are we sharing later on? What's the schedule for sharing later tonight? Literally 2 hours later, and I've got it on good authority that starting at 8 p.m., around 8 p.m. Pacific, last night, which would have been, I don't know. Wait, no, it was 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. I've got on good authority that there were a lot of Zoom meetings happening. As it was texted to me, everybody in the fire brigade is bucketing water toward the fire. That's exactly what I was told. Everybody in the brigade is bucketing water toward the fire. It was all hands on deck. Ideas. Not ideas on walking it back. Ideas on how do we fix this. As of early this morning, when I spoke with said person, no new ideas had come to light. So, yeah, this was just foolish. I mean, I think this will be studied for a generation. Like, this was foolish. Now, is PlayStation going to go on and make the PS6? Yes. Are they going to go digital only? Yes. I mean, are they going to do all these things? Yes. But this hurt. This hurt them. This really hurt them. And to be honest with you, I'm just one person. I don't have a big influence. I don't have a big reach or anything like that. But if my opinion's worth anything, you know, I was like, okay, PS6 is going to be expensive. Resident Evil 1 Remake will be on there. Final Fantasy 17 will be on there. There will be games on there that I want to play. I should probably start putting 50 to 60 bucks a month back now. So that when it comes out, okay, I've got it. I don't have a lot of money, but I'm not poor. We got some money. We'll put a little bit back. When this came out, I was like, I'm done. And I'm done because it's obvious that the artisans and the devs and the people that make gaming great are not the people making decisions at PlayStation anymore. Let that sink in. It's not that they're trying to get rid of physical. We've known they were doing that for a while. It's the way they dropped that announcement on people. Like, we're just going to drop a hammer on you all and you're going to sit there and take it. That is not how someone who cares about their audience goes about their business. It's just not. And at that moment, I was like, I don't want to support whoever put this out. I don't. Like, I've got my PS5. I will continue to play games on PS5, my Switch too. But I just don't want to support a company that would be that. That's not even tone deaf. That's just exercising just a complete lack of care for your audience. We just don't care about you. You're going to keep putting money in the machine. Keep putting money in the machine for us. That's a good boy. That's a good girl. Keep feeding the money in there. All right, now get out. Excuse me? No. I will not be supporting that anymore. And they can come back, they can walk it back, but that's what they did. That's why I'm mad. That's why so many other people are completely out. I'm not even outraged. I'm barely mad. I was surprised. It was a little shocking that they did that to everybody. But I'm just over it. I'm just over, like, these companies just treating people like garbage. I'm just over it. Now, it's your business. You can do what you want to with your business. But the fact that you have so little regard for the people, your patrons, that give into your business, that give money to your business, that buy things, that support your stuff, that show up for all of your terrible state of plays that go nowhere, that show up for, this or that you're promoting or advertising, that, wait for bated breath at the next exciting announcement, wait for games to come out, play them, stream them at midnight as soon as they upload or show up from Amazon or whatever. The fact that you don't give a shit about those people is shocking. It was shocking. It was shocking. So I guess to kind of sum it up, don't give in to the gaming Stockholm syndrome. Just don't do it. Like everybody at Xbox is always doing. There's stuff that happened at Xbox this week. That the PlayStation killing physical games kind of drowned all that out. But they're getting ready to shut more things down. They're getting ready to lay more people off. Asha Sharma is basically just hired to lower Xbox into the ground and cover the dirt on. That's what it seems like right now. I don't give a damn what Xbox. They could come out with the next great gaming console and all these amazing games, and we're going to do this, and it's going to be like you're going to be in the game. I don't even care. I don't even care anymore about Xbox. And now I'm like, PlayStation doesn't care about us. That's shocking. Just 10 to 15 years ago, like, PlayStation was the mecca for gamers. Oh, it's so fun here. They get it. It's being run by people who love video games and this medium. Whether you're into fighting games, you're into action combat, like, Gears of War, Call of Duty, or you love a great story. You want to sit down with a snack and a drink and just disappear into a story for 4 or 5 hours. Like, whatever you want, we got you. And everybody at the company, Sean Layden and other people that were there, they understood that. They understood that. This company, I don't know who they are. I have no idea who these people are. Not my PlayStation. This is not my PlayStation. And again, this isn't just about, we're getting rid of physical games. We've known that was coming. It was just shocking how little care they put into dropping that on everybody. Wasn't even an email out to people. Wasn't even like a little 3-minute YouTube video. They could have just uploaded to YouTube and then people would have grabbed it and just shared it around. But they could have come out with some care, with whoever the tall guy and the lady are on all the state of plays. They could have come out, give like a little heartfelt message. Thank you for all the years of support, all the midnight releases, everything. But as the company continues, as the industry continues to grow, things keep moving on. And it's with a heavy heart that, we announced we've made the decision, the hard decision, to move on from physical games starting in January 1st, 2028. Yeah. Not even that. Just a cold water post on X. Little screen grab, the laziest. The only other thing they could have done was just type it on X and send it. That's the only other lazy thing they could have done. And it's just, I don't recognize this company anymore. I don't. And it's fine. Hang on, my cat wants out. Hang on. All right. Yeah. Here you go. There you go. Yeah. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with that right now. So anyway, that's my full take on that. It's not about the stats, which the stats are skewed. They're not accurate, and it's not about picking a side or tribalism or anything like that. It's just about a clear and blatant, not even disregard, just an obvious, blatant lack of care for your audience. Like, we don't care about you. Next person up, put your money in the machine. All right, get out of here. Next, put your money in the machine. All right, get out of here. Pie face. All right, next, put your money in there. That's a good gamer. That's a good gamer. Put the money in. All right, next, get out of here. Boot to the ass. That was what that post was. And no arguments necessary. I know that was what that post was. And now they're taking it. Now they're taking it. And I couldn't be more entertained. So I will continue to share all the weird companies like joking around about it. I mean, I will continue to share it. I will continue to share everybody talking shit about PlayStation and how crummy that post was. I will continue to share all those things and participate myself because it was crummy and they deserve everything they're getting right now. Anyway, what say you all in the chat? What say you all? FF7 Revelation rumors. What rumors? I mean, there's always rumors, but PlayStation Door, I think it was leaked, the FF7 Revelation Edition with future DLC. Oh, that, yeah. Well, I think that's going to be, I think that's our Advent Children Dirge of Cerberus stuff, really. That's what we've talked about. So, I mean, I think that's pretty much a lock that they're going to do that. You know, they even hinted, like, the speak that Hamaguchi was putting out, that's why I was kind of speaking on it. When that was happening, is that it was clear Hamaguchi was dropping hints. Hey, yeah, you know, we're not gonna remake all those games. We're gonna make those DLC for post game, in world, all that kind of stuff. That's coming. They are going to do that. That is happening. Disappointment, not surprise. Monopoly on the digital purchases will stop the discount. Yeah, exactly, Beck. Exactly. Everybody, I've had people telling me is like, oh well, digital's not bad because they're always doing digital discounts. I'm like, no, that's not going to be anymore. Like that, like picking up Resident Evil 2 digital for like $5. No, that day is over. That day is over. That is not happening anymore. And plus, for digital sales on the digital store, PlayStation, for I think it's almost all titles, they get 100% of that. That's theirs. They've got a contract with the company, the games that go on there and everything. They get like a cut. I don't know what the cut is. I don't know if it's a contract up front but as far as like the money that comes through that store, they get 100% of that. They get like stuff like 45-50% for physical because you've got store shelves, you got shipping, you got markup, you got all that other kind of stuff. So yeah, stats can be used to say anything. That's right, Soldier. Yeah, everybody's throwing that 20% stat around. 15 to 20%. I saw one as low as 4. I was like, you're an idiot. 4%. No, God, get out of here. Grow up. I think there was a comment on one of my YouTube video from the other day. I was like, let me help you out here, child. Let me explain how nonsensical that number is. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Faith Shine. I mean, that's a part of it. I mean, you know, wanting to control the price and the money. That's control. I mean, you're absolutely right. It's just wanting to complete control over the product. Yeah, Shooter. Hey, the greatest golfer in the world, gracing us with their presence again tonight. What's up, Shooter? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, PS5 is my last console. I'm done with these dickheads. What up, Chanson? How you doing? I appreciate that. Had a good workout today. You'll own nothing and be happy. Yep. That's what they want. I mean, that's look, since the days of cavemen, like, manipulating human beings is a human art. And it's only gotten more precise and more perfected over time. But here's the thing, man. Look, we've got Oh, I thought I got like a weird text message. We've got the collected wealth of human knowledge in our pocket. You can Google anything at any time and get an answer. You can smarten yourself up to this stuff. And honestly, I love, that's why I love seeing the pushback on social media on this stuff. It's like, no, you're not going to control this. You're not going to control that. We give up enough control on a daily basis. Whether you're asking ChatGPT for what was the latest sales numbers for this game or whatever, or you're asking GPS to get you somewhere, we're giving up an ounce of control here and there. 2 pounds of control a day, like a half an ounce at a time. But there are some things where it's right for people to say, no, not this one. Not this one, homie. No, we're not doing that. And I love it. I love seeing it. I think it's necessary. I think it's warranted, and I think it's needed. It'll be interesting to see what kind of comments come out of PlayStation. I'm 50-50 on whether or not they're going to walk this thing back. I'm 55-45. I don't think they're going to walk it back, but I think there's a world. I think there's a scenario. I know they're talking about it. I know it has been slightly discussed, but the wheels are already in motion. These wheels have been in motion for a little bit to cease production on physical media. It just has. They've got contracts in place. That's happening. I mean, that's absolutely happening. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of corporate speak comes out of that. They need like a real human being to write this shit, because I mean, this has to hit. Like whatever comes out, they need to get like a good marketing person in there. But hey, look, this has to sound like it came from a human, not a bunch of rich people who don't know what a fucking video game is. You know what I mean? I can see one of these rich investors at PlayStation being like, what are the odds of us getting a Mario game? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Nelson, I hear you, brother. Yeah, Chenson. I mean, that's that. I think there's a bit of an awakening going on here with a lot of gamers and stuff like that. Not the whole touch grass comment or whatever, but I think I have talked to like at least, well, let me see, it was 3 people over the last day where not only has it made them be like, I don't think I want to support Sony anymore. I think they're going further down that rabbit hole and they're being like, you know, basically the consensus I've talked with each of these people about is I basically added up how many days a week I play video games, and holy shit, I could have gotten like a master's degree. You know, there's that is a lot of the consensus. Like, what can I be doing with my time if and when PlayStation 5 is my last system and I'm not gaming like I used to anymore? Who knows? I mean, that's what I came to, right? That's when I started working on my stuff. That's what I came to. I just kind of was like, I don't have time anymore. And I think, no, I mean, not think, I mean, I love the business of gaming. I love supporting the artisans and admiring the art and the stories they write. And even the developers, the coding side people, the magic they work with creating these games and make them work. It's just like, that's not something I can do. It's magic to me. It might as well be like casting a spell, people coding. I tell my friend Cruel Code, who's in our chat a lot of times, I'm like, I mean, I can get basic concepts. I can make a guy move from here to here, but doing all the other stuff, that's like casting spells to me. I mean, I have no idea how to do that. I mean, could we all learn how to do that? Sure, but it's like anything in life. I think some people are more disposed to it than others. Could I make a battle system? Yes, in about a year. Whereas somebody could do it 1,000 times better than me and have it done in like a week. You know what I mean? So watching these people work and understanding that they are savants at what they do is mesmerizing to me. That's a big part of why I'm still such a fan of video games. a lot of the games that have come out, I just don't think are, they just don't speak to me anymore. And they shouldn't, right? I mean, you can't make every game that comes out for a guy who loved A Link to the Past back in 1993 when he was in middle school. You can't do that, and I get that. You know what I mean? So I shouldn't get a lot of the stuff that's out now because it's not made for me, nor should everything be made for people in my demographic. That being said, people in my demographic have put a lot of money into video games, and they're kind of being done. Like I've shared with you all the Final Fantasy VII remake example, right? Like the marketing behind it was not good because a lot of people that came up with me loving Final Fantasy VII, the OG on PS1, we all played it together. We all talked about it together. Even when I went to college, I'd talk about stuff, and we'd have like little LAN parties, and we were playing like Red Faction and stuff like that together. But we're talking about Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy X. We're talking about these games. It's just, I don't know. It feels like to me that the gaming industry is just holding on. Like it's just trying to hold on while creating new consumers. And that's not the way they should be looking at it. How they should be thinking, how do we make the next amazing experience that doesn't have to be a quadruple A summer blockbuster $300 million video game? How do we just make the next great experience that people love, gravitate toward, and this creates like the next zeitgeist? I don't know if that level of creativity is there anymore because I don't think it's allowed to be. I don't think it's allowed to be by the people that are really in charge there. Anyway, I guess that was a hidden tangent just hanging on there. But yeah, a lot of people are just kind of like getting to a point where they're like, I don't have the time anymore. I'm not going to pay $1,000 for the next system, whatever it is. Like, we're reaching the breaking point. A couple years ago, I talked about the gaming bubble is about to bust. I think we're there. I was one of the first people to start talking about that a few years ago because it was painted on the wall. It was in the marketing. You know what I mean? I had people messaging me. It's like, oh, this gaming bubble thing, man. And these were, I'm not going to mention names, but there were a couple of like big content creators that messaged me and were talking to me about. I was like, yeah, this is kind of what I think. This is kind of what I see. And like, it's all happened and is happening, So I don't know. I want the artisans and the great creators and the great composers and the great coders and the directors and all those people to continue making what they love. But these people making these shitty business decisions, man, they got to cap that shit. You are a silent investor now. Boom. Thank you. We're going to take it from here. We're going to make this whole thing work. We're going to fix it. Okay, we're going to fix it. Thank you. It's kind of where we're at. I've been told that PC gaming is expensive to start when building your gaming PC, but cheaper in the long run, and you get more bang for your buck. That's true. That's actually true, Soldier. You're right. But I'm too disposed to. I mean, PC gaming, you get a controller. You don't have to do keyboard and mouse. I mean, I'm never going to be that guy. You can get a controller and play PC games for sure. Just open it and click it. You can do that. I think. I don't know. I just think I'm past the point of investing in doing that. Went to my local EB Games, which is where I can buy physical games, and I noticed they didn't have an Xbox section. What I have noticed is that it's more gaming merchandise now. Oh, it's a ton of gaming merchandise, like EB Games, GameStop, all that kind of stuff. I go into a GameStop, and I'm like, it feels like a nerd flea market threw up in here. And I'm a huge nerd. I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. But it's like a nerd, geek flea market just came in here and threw up. That's what it looks like. It is. It's like it's overstimulation paradise. Like, there's too much stuff, too many colors to just take in. It's like walking into a GameStop now is like walking into a fun house. I went in to my local GameStop the other day, and there was like a box of plushies in the floor right next to a box of like controllers they were putting up, and then on the counter there were some Pokemon cards. I was like, Jesus, man, it's a lot to take in. Gaijin, what's up, man? Pio is a guy on Twitter. I'm sure he's got other stuff, whatever, but he's like a cool, like, fun guy. He's video game centric. The Ultra Collider, yeah, it's we're experiencing the event horizon right now. That's what it is. Yeah, Nelson. Well, Connor has a Switch 2. Like, my kid, he has a Switch 2. It's in the family room. That's where he plays. I got my Switch 2 for the studio for when Ocarina of Time comes out. Because I joked with my wife. I was like, well, I got one because this November when Ocarina of Time comes out, Connor won't have access to a Switch 2 if I don't get one for me. Ray, having been in corporate America for 20 years plus and seeing what corporate America is willing to do, outsourcing using AI, willing to do illegal things because they save money, versus money, what fines are. I don't picture Sony doing a 180 and changing their announced policy. There's a better chance they announce consumer policy updates for buying digital games. Yeah, I mean, that's what they're going to do. That's why they got these class action suits that came out of the ass on them yesterday, as we were discussing on Discord a little bit. It's PYO, soldier. But yeah, they're not going to walk it back. I mean, I know that people have floated that idea over there based on who I spoke with, but like, that's not going to happen. There's a lot of knee-jerk reaction and 7-alarm fire stuff happening over there right now. But what's so disappointing about it, like I said, aside from stats and mumbo jumbo and all that kind of stuff, it's just the lack of respect for the consumer, the way they dropped that information. They didn't put any effort into that announcement. And I think a lot of people were hurt, pissed, shocked, and it's still playing. I can go on X right now, and the first 5 posts that pop up in my feed will be this. There it is. Yep. Oh, good old 9. Good old 9. Our friend of the channel, 9, everybody. PlayStation Support US. Take screenshots and record gameplay on PS5 to remember and share your greatest gaming moments. How to capture PS5 gameplay and screenshots. 9 just comments, brave. Let them have it. Let them have it. Yeah, everything on my feed is this. Watching people faux outrage over this physical stuff with PlayStation is kind of hollow. Why? Like, people like this is some kind of person that, people who talk like that online, it says to me that you don't have a real wealth of human experience with other human beings. You just don't. You don't have a whole lot of life experience to reflect on and be like, well, this is why people are probably mad about it. So when I see comments like, the faux outrage and response over, well, shut the fuck up, man. You don't have any human experience, man. You don't know what other people are experiencing and going through, what they're thinking of. Like I said, there's going to be kids that wake up on Christmas or for their birthday that won't have a game to open. Because I know for a fact the parents go to GameStop and, oh, would this game be good for my kid? When I go into my local GameStop, I hear parents talking to the customer service people behind the counter all of the time. Yeah, it's my kid's birthday. I don't really know what he plays. Oh, this is what he likes. What do you think? And they're picking from the used section. These people have no human experience. So keep being a talking bot on social media. please, you all, don't be that. You got a place to come to talk and to learn and to develop. And we can disagree here. I love disagreeing with people. It's fine. Because I love showing that you can disagree with people and still care about them. Like, that's part of the human experience. People that post shit like, watching people faux outrage over this physical stuff with PlayStation is kind of hollow. Why? Because 99% of you will be there day one to pick up your PS6 rather than having the stores to vote with stones to vote with your wallets. I told them I'm going to go ahead and put a like on my own tweet. Shut the fuck up. Like, people like that, I see that, and I just see people that just sit in a dark room all day on their phone. Like, that right there, that's an easy I don't care. But a couple of my friends, the reason I saw that is because a couple of my friends went on and blasted them. A couple of my friends that I know have a wealth of human experience. So, there are plenty of human soldiers out there fighting the good fight. So, how do you... Yeah, Pio, there you go. That's how it is. Yeah, man. I do believe if all these consoles, including PC and Steam, have their way, Google Stadia will be a thing by 2040. Bro, 2040 comes, I'm definitely out the game. I'll be... God. 2040, I'll be... Pushing 60? Yeah, I'll be out the game. I'll be out the game. Darth Magus, I hear you. What's up, Zach? Doing good, Zach. How you doing? Yeah, insane shit. But, you know, not unseen, right? Not unseen. If you're just joining Zach, you know, welcome, by the way, my friend. Are you working tonight? I know you work crazy hours, man. Bless your heart, dude. But yeah, we've been discussing all the stuff about the Sony announcement and why people are really mad about it. You know, don't listen to talking heads on social media that obviously don't understand why people are mad about it. These are stat jockeys, right? Stat jockeys that might talk to two people physically face to face every week. When they're asking mom to bring cookies and burritos to their room, and then maybe when they go out and talk to one of their buddies at the card shop or something. Who knows? You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, and everybody's got every right to be upset about this thing. And lay it on. Lay it on. Don't let up. So I hit on this point earlier. Sony is banking on people letting this blow over in 48 to 72 hours. That's the usual time that recreational outrage blows over. 48 to 72 hours. That is a stat. That is a real stat. Like when you're having to do like putting out fires and, you know, I call it media triage. When you're having to do media triage, the playbook is 48 to 72 hours. Real hot subjects, 72 hours. Most of the time, 48 hours. That's why Sony put this thing out yesterday. After 72 hours, we're going into the weekend. People are getting on with their weekends, doing weekend stuff. Come Monday, we can be back to posting things. Sony can be back to posting things. Hey, whatever. Downloading games, stuff like that. Don't let up. Don't let up. Make this a moment that people study 20 years from now. What not to do, right? FF7 rumored 9 DLC. Oh, so like, I didn't know there was a number on it. I've been so busy the past couple of days. I did see the announcement about the DLC story stuff, post-game story stuff. Be really spotty on these streams until the World Cup is over, man. Just oh, is that still going on? I thought somebody won already. What up, Peach Booty? Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? I didn't know it was 9 possible DLCs, but that doesn't surprise me. But we've touched on this, you know. I was like, you know, they're definitely going to do like post-game DLC. That's how we're going to get Dirge of Cerberus. That's how we'll get Advent Children story stuff. They'll probably tweak Advent Children somewhat. but we'll get that, and then we'll get Dirge of Cerberus. And, you know, you've still got to finish off Sephiroth and deal with Genesis. Like, I could see, like, a post-game DLC where you fulfill whatever the end of Dirge of Cerberus was supposed to be, and then that brings about a final thing with Sephiroth that you have to finish him off. And I mean, yeah, I mean, there's limitless possibilities. Another 2 more weeks. Good God. That's a lot of soccer. I know nothing about the World Cup and soccer and all that kind of stuff. So this is like the playoffs for the world of soccer, right? Whoever wins the World Cup, you're the champ, right? You are the champ. Is that how that works? Hey, lurking is working, Peach Booty. You keep working. You keep working it. But yeah, so Final Fantasy VII Revelation, it's really, like, with the DLC stuff, one of the things I want to talk about, I did want to talk about this tonight. I didn't know there were 9, though. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. The game already is going to be insanely massive. Like, it's going to be absolutely gargantuan, right? Quite possibly one of the biggest games ever made for a console. I'm not talking about World of Warcraft and stuff like that. I'm not talking about those games. But like, oh, by the way, let me ask, how is my stream looking tonight? You all let me know. How is my stream looking tonight? Sometimes I'll have choppy, laggy stuff. That should all be in the past. I'm hoping this is looking a lot better tonight. Let me know. Please let me know. Anyway. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII Revelation is going to be a massive, massive game. All the DLCs, all that kind of stuff. Now, I don't give me DLCs focusing on Glenn and whoever else is in the Goon Platoon with Glenn. I don't care about those characters. I don't care. The extended universe Final Fantasy VII characters, I don't care. Like Crisis Core, you can put Angeal and Genesis in there. You can have Cisne be a quest giver. I mean, but this needs to be focused on the Final Fantasy VII cast. Not the fanfiction cast. And yes, a lot of that, like, what is it? Ever Crisis stuff? A lot of that Ever Crisis stuff reads like fanfiction. I've watched some videos. I had to turn one off because it was bad. Like, the writing was awful. I had to turn it off. A lot of you all be like, have you been keeping up with the Ever Crisis stuff? And I've just been nicely saying, no, not really. And it's not really, because I was watching a video and the writing was atrocious. Atrocious. I had to turn it off. I was like, this is terrible. And Kazushika Nojima wrote it, and I was like, oh my god, not my guy, not my boy. Oh man, what's up, Nojima? What are you doing? 4K-ish? Yeah, so I've put a little work into my streaming stuff. I want it to look good. So I am trying to make sure that I maintain proper level. I might drop the bandwidth down just a little bit more. That might clean a few little artifacting things I've found up. But other than that, we should be on the right track now. Money. That's what I want to hear. Money. Thank you. Co-founder of a chair of a local multi-fandom con in my hometown, but I stepped down for various reasons. But I have another big idea that I'm tempted to discuss with you. So far it's only a temptation. Hey, DM me anytime, man. DM me anytime. For those of you that don't know, my convention schedule the second half of this year is going to be insane. So one of the things I've been working on, with Aurora and everything that I do, is getting to bigger shows, guesting in a few places, all that kind of stuff. Trying to bring on a convention agent and all that kind of stuff. So I will be at Anime New York in August. They've got me dead center of the con. Like, traffic going this way, traffic going that way. You have to come by the Aurora booth. The placement's insane. So if you're going to be at Anime New York, I am at booth 1150. If you're going to be there, come by, hang out, say hi. It's going to be a great time. I'll be in Pasadena in October. I've got some other things I'm trying to get lined up, but I'll be everywhere. I'm going to be everywhere the second half of the summer. Next year, it's going to be even more. I'm going to be all over the place next year. So I will probably be in your area. So definitely come out and hang out. One stream made an argument of going back to Remake and Rebirth and doing DLC that should have been done previously, like Tifa and Remake when Cloud goes to Aerith, or like Cid and Midgar with the whole space project. Yeah, but here's the thing. Those things could get cleaned up in Revelation as well. We know Revelation is going to backtrack and go over some things that already happened. Some of the lower editions in Ever Crisis are booty, but I've never been a huge fan of any of the compilation besides OGF7. I liked Crisis Core for the things it set up, right? And I actually enjoyed Dirge of Cerberus because it brought about Deep Ground. I think Deep Ground is a great expanded lore edition. Deep Ground is I love the concept of Deep Ground. But I think... So... Late 2000s and 2010s Square Enix writing is not strong. It's not strong. Just the characters don't sound like real people when they talk. Like the words that come out of their mouth, like not the performances, it's the writing. That's all over Ever Crisis. Like these don't feel like real people talking. Like this is not how human beings talk to each other. Like Sephiroth's pontificating in Ever Crisis, horrid, abhorrent. It's terribly written. And I get people defending it. Look, I've defended bad things in the past that used to be good that I once enjoyed, right? There are plenty of things that I once enjoyed that when they did new versions of it was terrible and I defended it anyway. That's on me. That's on me. I've been guilty of it. I'm not going to be guilty of it with the greatest story ever written in a video game. I'm not. So, Ever Crisis is booty. It is booty. It's nasty. Went and worked out after mowing the yard in 105-degree heat yesterday without a shower. Today, nasty booty. That being said, I've enjoyed the remake saga. It feels like the remake saga is written completely different than that Ever Crisis stuff. That Ever Crisis stuff is, it's unreadable. Now, I don't want this to become that. I don't want to go off on a tangent about Ever Crisis, but it is... Like, you all remember, I was playing it when it came out. And I just stopped playing it. And then people were like, oh, it got better. I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to play it. Let me go watch some videos. I went and watched some videos. It did not get better. It is awful. It is terrible what they did to what could have been a great project. You could have used Ever Crisis to expand the lore even more, but it just comes off like fan fiction. It does. It just does. So, I mean, if you're enjoying Ever Crisis, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm not trying to turn you off from it, but please don't ask me to watch or experience it ever again. I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm on board, completely on board for the remake saga. Completely on board for it. And I think the remake saga has been great. I really enjoyed Rebirth. A lot of people complain about the padding and stuff. I don't mind padding. I like doing a bunch of random shit over and over again. That's a JRPG to me. It gives me shit to do. You know what I mean? I'm a checklist guy, right? Got a checklist right here, as a matter of fact. Got checklists all over here. I got checklists over here on my production table, which the production table is covered with like Kickstarter shipments that I've been getting ready. 90 packages. 90 packages. That's what your boy's been doing. I'm halfway through it. But anyway, I'm a checklist guy. I love doing checklists. I'm not like a trophy hunter when I play games, but you know, if I had more time, I would be. You know, if I was a professional gamer, like if I had 2 million people watching my channel or subscribed and 100,000 people watch my stream, well, yeah, we'd go chase some trophies. I mean, because that would be my full-time job. You know, I'd be making $20,000 a month on YouTube. But that's not my reality. So I'm a checklist guy. I love doing those things. I love the towers going, opening up my new objectives. Okay, cool. Let's go get these new objectives, man. Let's go do this, go do that. That doesn't make for a fun stream to watch. That's stuff I would do in my own time, and I did in my own time. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Interns writing Ever Crisis. Well, I think isn't Kazushika Nojima, isn't his name on that as chief writer? Now, chief writer or some whatever it is, head writer, whatever. That could just be me. He's delegating it, but you're still approving what's in there. At the end of the day, I think Ever Crisis is just too much. I think it became just way too much, way too big, and they feel like they're having to service like 5 different stories or eras even of Final Fantasy VII, and it's just too much for them. And has this been playing over and over again? Anyway, but yeah, I don't like Ever Crisis. Advent Children's writing's not good. The Advent Children's writing is terrible. It's fun. It was fun to go back and revisit Cloud and Friends, and I love the song, the ending theme for Advent Children. I forget the name of that song, but it's like you know the song when Cloud's on the motorcycle and it's just first person view. And it's playing that song. Matter of fact, I want to listen to that song tonight when I'm done streaming in the studio. Na 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 na. Do do do. I love that song. I gotta look that up. Who is that? I gotta look that up now. Okay, let me look. Sorry. That's such a great song. And the reason I'm excited is because I had that tune in my head the other day. I was like, what is that? What is that? I was sitting here, I was listening to my Pandora Japanese rock station, and a couple of songs, and then that tune got in my head. I think I must have heard a song from that artist, and the tone of his voice made me think about that. Calling, that's what it's called. Who is that though? Calling. 1989. Kyosuke Himuro. Okay. I don't know who that is, but I love that song though. Absolutely love that song. A console port of Ever Crisis like they did with Resonance when it's all said and done. Maybe. That's not going to fix the writing, though. It's not going to fix the bad writing. And I might be the only one that feels that way about Ever Crisis, and if so, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to drive anybody away, but you know I got to keep it real with you all. I got to keep it real. Like, I can't even pretend I haven't seen it. It's not good. It's just abysmal. Now there's some good lore stuff in there, but like if I were to read it in like a, I'm gonna take these off, I'm not even using these. Like if I were to read it in like a lore compendium, like this was this and this was this, and then there's this weapon major guy that Sephiroth created in the live stream, that would still be a little bit to swallow, like reading it just as a compendium text or whatever. But man, so yeah, I did watch the scene with Aerith, and I was like, this is rough. This is hard to get through. So is the Ever Crisis game itself, is it fun to play? Is it like fun to play because I know it's like a gacha game. Advent Children was a romp. Advent Children, if that could have been like a 4-episode miniseries, like an hour long, like or 45 minutes long miniseries, it would have been a lot better. You could have fleshed things out more. They had to rush stuff because they had like what, a 90-minute run. They had a 90-minute runtime. Then they did Advent Children Complete, which kind of filled some stuff in. It still wasn't incredibly great. But yeah, there are issues, but it's tedious sometimes. Okay, Gaijin. Well, that's the vibe I got, because when I was playing it, we were still waiting for the Wutai sections to open up each week. And I got to a point where I was like, man, I think to myself, I was kind of like, this is really tedious. This is super tedious. That shit is terrible. Ever Crisis. It is, man. The writing is so bad. And I've talked to people online who are excited about them incorporating these things into Revelation. I'm like, they better fucking not. They better not incorporate any of this into Revelation. This needs to be... You all want like an alternate timeline? This needs to be an alternate timeline. I'll be okay with that being a second timeline off on its own, having nothing to do with the Revelation game. But I don't think that'll be the case. Played Advent Children. I don't do so just for... Oh, Advent Children is a... Advent Children's a movie, dude. Do you mean Ever Crisis? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Ever Crisis. Yeah, man. I mean, people would buy it and play it, but from what I've seen, man, I can't do it. I cannot do it. Well, I did enjoy the grinding aspect of it. It's weird, man. Like, it's weird to play a Final Fantasy and enjoy the grinding and dread getting to the next story point. The story is just very disjointed. It's not well written. And the characters, I don't know, there's something off about it. They, like, even Cloud and Tifa and Aerith and all them, like, they don't feel like Cloud and Tifa and Aerith and Barrett and Vincent. They don't feel like those characters. It's off. It's very off-putting. Like, if Ever Crisis was your first jump into Final Fantasy VII, I can see people being like, I don't get what the deal is. I don't get why people are saying they're full of crap. How good this is. No. We're not talking about Ever Crisis. We're not talking about that. Okay, that's what I watched that. I watched a playthrough of that, and it was rough. It was rough to get through, man. It made no sense. It made zero sense. And so I don't want to spoil anything for you all if you haven't seen it or experienced it, but the time in which something happens at the end doesn't make any sense. I'll just put it that way. Not in like a creative, ooh, Sephiroth is doing something with time and space. No. It's just so poorly written it doesn't make sense. I don't use this word a lot, so bear with me. And if you don't know what this word is, I completely understand. But I was completely flabbergasted at how bad it was. And the game itself looked like a fine play. Looked fine. The story, I just couldn't believe it, how badly written it was. Ray, with you beating Elliot, are you going to do a review, and what game is next on your to-do list? The Elliot review is recorded. It is recorded. I'm actually going to try to get some more editing in the night. I'm actually thinking about adding some stuff to it, which means I'll have to put my other shirt back on because I had some ideas I jotted down today. But yeah, that review is almost done. It's a beefy review. And beware, there is much gushing over how great this game is. So, it's, I loved Elliot. What's next for me? I want to go back and finish Pragmata. I want to go back and finish Pragmata. I never finished it. I got busy with stuff. I'm hoping to play that a little bit this weekend. I've got double animation duty coming up over the next few weeks, but I will still be doing content and streams as per regular. I just got to tighten my schedule up on my end. So I've got to work out some things with my own personal daily schedule, because the animation stuff's picking up. Like there are monetary ventures on the horizon. I'll put it that way. That's all I can say. To the point where I will be able to work less at my night job and do more animating. So I'm really pumped about that. And plus the Kickstarter helped because I'm going to be able to hire some help. So that's a big plus. And but yeah, so I'm really excited about, getting back to Pragmata. And then after that, I don't know. There's a game you all keep telling me about. And I did wishlist it in the store, or put a heart on it. But now for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. It's like an indie darling right now that people are really into. I think it's a platformer or something like that. Mina the Hollower. It just came to me. Mina the Hollower. I might be checking that one out. Adventures of Elliot. Can we talk about this game for a minute, though? Adventures of Elliot. Best use of time travel ever in a game. Best use of time travel narratively ever in a video game. Well, Chris, that's because it's A Link to the Past. Like, yeah, A Link to the Past is like that. You get like a third level on all your stuff, shield, sword, all that kind of thing. It's about adventuring. It's about finding things. It's not about... I would have really enjoyed like a bit of an EXP grind feature to it, and I do say that in the review, but that doesn't take away anything from me. It's not supposed to... It's an action RPG. It's not supposed to be like an experience points based RPG. It's like a classic Zelda game, Link to the Past. It's exactly what it is. So when I got into the game, I knew that. Like I knew that was what I was getting. So, but when I did finish the game, I was like, you know what? The fighting and the running around and grinding for like your rupees or toll, not rupees, rupees, toll, grinding for that and buying stuff and upgrading your magic, all that kind of stuff. That was cool, but I was like, oh, it would have been cool if you could have like maybe leveled up Elliot and even Faye, your fairy. But that game is incredible, man. That game is absolutely amazing. I think we will get another one, but just like the amount of game you get after not the first, but the second time you think you finished the game. Like, so there was a point, and I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a point in Adventures of Elliot where the end boss dungeon opens up, and you can go there. But as a savvy gamer who's been around the block, you kind of go, oh, wait a minute. There's other stuff I can do. Let me go do these other things. You can finish the game and get an ending at that point. You can. But then I was like, well, let me go do this other stuff, and I'll probably get the good ending, right? Right. So we'll go do that. I go do that and beat it. And then the game tells you basically there's still stuff, I was like, whoa, wait, what? I played that game for almost another 7 to 8 hours after that point. I was like, are you serious? Talk about a game being everything your heart wanted it to be and more. Adventures of Elliot is that bitch. It is that bitch. Like, I love that game. I can't wait to dive back into it some more when I got a little bit of time. But Pragmata's next. And my Adventures of Elliot review, I want to have that up tomorrow before I go to work. I got to be at work. I work tomorrow night. I want to have that up for everybody to check out and enjoy if they want to over the weekend. And come back here Monday night, be ready for a full report. I want a full report on my desk. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it was really great. Peach Booty, you'll love it. You'll love it. Yeah, the thing with Faye and doing finding the little fairy temples and stuff, that was cool. And like, look, one of the things I love most about the game is when you start developing Faye's like fairy abilities and stuff like that, it changes how you can play the game in every aspect. How you fight, how you traverse, how you solve puzzles, and not just like what the game wants you to do, but anytime. As I got new fairy abilities, it changed how I played the game. It encourages you to experiment with how you want to play the game. And I thought that was a brilliant bit of game design. Like, at no point in the game ever do I feel like, except for there were some quests that closed off, but like, at any point, I didn't feel like it was holding my hand to do anything. I didn't feel like it was making me play a certain way. I played however I wanted, and I went wherever I wanted, whenever I wanted. Unless there was a side quest I was about to lose because of story reasons, right? And that's understandable, I get that. But yeah, it was the experience, exactly the experience I wanted from that game and more. So I can't wait. I hope they do another one. I hope they do another one before 2028 so there's a physical edition of it. Maybe Nintendo got me. Right? My review will not be spoiler free. It is not a spoiler free review, so I apologize. But I wanted to have a real comprehensive review, and I couldn't do that without having some spoilers in there. Because one of the spoilery things I talk about is character stuff. The way they handle the character stuff in this game is just out of sight, man. It's so good. Like, one of the hallmarks of a great game, or a great story, period, for me, and I've spoken about this on different forms of like different media, right? Like, I love Bleach. I think they do a great job of making characters that Type Kubo does a great job of making characters you feel like you could just hang out with and have a good time with. Like Final Fantasy, the great Final Fantasy games, those characters have been characters like, man, I don't want anything to happen to these guys, man. I really care about these characters. Like, the great stories do that. Lord of the Rings, Resident Evil. I always say Resident Evil is the greatest horror franchise ever made because, like, you give a shit about the characters, you're not supposed to want to root for Freddy or Jason or Michael Myers, or you're supposed to care about those characters, which is why Halloween is my favorite horror franchise as far as movies go, because I care about Dr. Loomis. I care about the other characters in Halloween, the first couple, and Dragon Ball. Everybody's like, why is Dragon Ball, people love it so much? Because they love those characters, man. They love those characters. You want to hang out with those characters. Adventures of Elliot does that. Adventures of Elliot, I don't want anything to happen to any of the characters in any era. They have done something. They put some kind of magic sauce in the character writing for that game. I need to go back. That's one of the... Actually, no, I made a note of that. I want to go back and credit the writers of that game, because the writing is so strong in that game. The writing is incredible in that game. The scenario planning and all that, everything is incredible in that game. Every character in every era has like an appeal, has like a thing about them where you're like, I want this character to be okay. I don't want anything to happen to this character. And I feel like they just get it, man. They just get it. So I don't want to spoil anything, but I will be talking about a bit of that in the review. So, I already did. I just got to edit. I might be adding some things to it too. 13 likes on this stream. Thank you all so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. I'm usually looking at 5 likes at this point. I'm like, nobody likes me. Nah, appreciate you all showing up and showing out tonight. I was warping around bosses and going behind them to get hits and then warping away with... Yeah, dude. like the warping and like especially like with the well, I don't want to spoil anything, but have you fought the mouse tank yet? Anyway, I don't want to get too much into that. Team Asylum can be hit or miss, but when they hit, they hit. Oh yeah, this is a hit. This is definitely a hit. This is definitely a hit, my friend. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break. I need to grab me a drink, and I'll be right back. We'll do some more discussion. So hold tight. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm back at 2:03 a.m. Oh, Mind Eater, what is up? Hey Ray, Baby Seal mentioned you in a recent stream. New collab coming? I don't know. I haven't spoken with him recently. I did message with him a little bit during his health emergency. That was scary. Like I can't imagine being in another country with that happening, or wherever he was. But yeah, I messaged him, check in and stuff like that. But no, I haven't talked with him about being on his show or anything like that. So, but yeah, I'm always down. They're good people. I just I kind of lost track with them, like in that whole year where I didn't play Rebirth. I think they just didn't want to spoil it for me or whatever. I couldn't come on the show and talk about it because I hadn't played it. So that community kind of we lost track of each other on that because I couldn't talk about anything. Right? But yeah, if he ever wants me on, I'd be happy to go on. There's a couple of other podcasts I might be going on. Nothing's concrete yet, but I think I'll be doing some stuff like that. And I may be having a couple of people on here for some streams. So that might be happening too. So stay tuned. With Xbox canceling third-party deals, I hope it doesn't impact Threads of Time development. That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I keep forgetting about Threads of Time, which I shouldn't because that's a beautiful game. It looks amazing. But man, it's going to be hard to top Adventures of Elliot just because that game had a lot of heart. Those characters were really good, like significantly good. Like that game had more heart and more character depth than a lot of the AAA quadruple $300 million games that come out now. I mean, they just do. I've had so many people asking me, they were like, well, you know, Chris, they actually messaged me on X, and I had not seen their message until like today. I saw it and I messaged them, and yeah, they said they had gotten quite a few people requesting me to come on with them. So yeah, I messaged them. I was like, yeah, I'm down. Just, you know, let's set up a time. So wait to hear back from them. But yeah, that might be happening. It is. It's such a great story. And like they really like, I know sometimes I'm hard on Square Enix. I love Squaresoft. I'm hard on Square Enix. I know, but given credit where it's due, like they killed it with Adventures of Elliot. Now I can't think of the name off the top of my head of the other development team, the third party or whatever, the other studio that worked on that. I don't know how much of that was them and how much that was Square Enix, but it really felt like a love letter to classic Squaresoft games. That's what it feels like. Oh, cool. But yeah, there are a bunch of other games that are coming out. Like I'm so excited about Resident Evil Veronica. Actually, you know what? Let's change the vibe. Everything I'm reading about Resident Evil Veronica, they are really going all in. Like they are really going. Like these are just rumors, things that have come out, but some of the rumors that are coming out now are things that I was kind of told about like a while back. Do you all remember when people were doing the whole, well, there's a Code Veronica remake in development back when we were calling it that. And there's also Resident Evil Zero, which remake is coming out first. Nobody knew. And even at the time, I was getting people telling me stuff like, you know, oh, it's going to be massive. It's going to have stealth to it. Claire and Chris are going to play different. You know, they're both going to be action-oriented, but Claire's going to have a little more stealth. There's actually going to be like a Steve boss fight. There's all this crazy shit I was hearing, and I was like, oh, man. half of it sounds like BS. There's no way they can do all this, you know, because it's just Code Veronica, right? It's in my top 3 Resident Evil games of all time. It's Resident Evil 1 HD Remaster from 2002. It's Resident Evil 2 OG. It's Code Veronica. That's my top 3. Which, ironically, if without Nemesis there, that's the order of the story. Ironically. But why did they change it from Code Veronica to just Veronica? I think they just wanted it to feel different. I don't know much about the name change. We might find out more about that later officially, but I think they just wanted it to feel different. I think they wanted it to feel like an official entry in the series. So I think that's kind of why they went that direction. Because it's not up to code. But no, like, yeah, I've so more things that are coming out, and these aren't things I've heard, these are things I've read online, that like the monsters are going to be crazy. Like the Bandersnatch are supposed to be like reworked and horrifying. Like the Bandersnatch, they're supposed to be on the level with the Iron Maidens from Resident Evil 4. And those things, for my money, might be the most terrifying Resident Evil villain ever. Like the first time you see one, you're coming through that hallway as Leon, and then you hear the pew, that music, and it's like, and it's like just twitching after you. The first time I played one of those on my GameCube, I was like, oh no, oh no, no. I remember pausing my game and just being like, oh hell no, oh hell no, I'm not right now. I'm taking a break. I think I did take a break and make something to eat. It came back and said, okay, let me get my strat guide out. Okay, we got to do this. But yeah, so if the Bandersnatch or anything on the level of like that would be crazy. Just because of what they can do, like with their elastic arm, their Spider-Man kind of thing they can do, and just the way they look. They look like a melted face and everything. I mean, they could be truly horrifying. Well, I think we get some more Final Fantasy VII Revelation trailers. I think we could get something around October. Definitely going to have something during the Game Awards. I mean, the game's going to come out probably... I'm going to stick with it. Thursday, March 11th, 2027. I think that's going to be the release date. Thursday, March 11th, 2027. But if it's anywhere within a month before or after that, that's the window, right? So I think maybe around October, but definitely the Game Awards. Definitely TGA. That's definitely going to be a lock. But maybe something before then. I don't know. So, but we got a lot. Like, we got a lot at Summer Games Fest. So if we don't get anything else until TGA, I would not be shocked. They announced they removed Code Veronica to modernize the title and keep the name of the game one word, like Resident Evil Requiem. Okay, so yeah, it's exactly what I was kind of thinking. You know what? I might have read that and forgot about it. I don't think I came up with that answer on my own. I think I may have read that and forgot about it. So, Steve Burnside Redemption, yes, absolutely. I think they'll make Steve a more likable character. And, you know, people always say people didn't like Steve because of the way he was, like, ogling at Claire. No, that's not why they didn't like Steve. Like, people didn't mind the Claire flirting and stuff like that back in the day. That wasn't even on the radar. Is he so whiny? He was so whiny and unlikable. And the reason I didn't like Steve is because the way he wasted all that ammo on his dad zombie. He's like, click, click, click. I'm like, you just wasted all that. Just put one in the head, man. One in the head. Wasted all that ammo. I do not like you anymore. Yeah, TGS, Chris. Yeah, around that time, for sure. So yeah, September is TGS, right? Okay, so I was thinking that was October for some reason. Um, so yeah, or they do a state of play in October. If we don't get something at TGS, state of play October. If we don't get something by October, it's going to be the Game Awards. I don't see them doing just a surprise drop, unless they do a Square Enix Presents, which they don't do a lot of those, right? They do one every like 3 or 4 years. It's not very often. So if they do one, could be around that time. If they were going to do one, a Square Enix Presents, it would be for Revelation. I mean, this is the last Big Daddy, right? This is the last one outside of Final Fantasy 17. Well, no, I take it back. Kingdom Hearts 4 will be a big title. So what would it be for Square Enix, right? You got Final Fantasy 7, Revelation. Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming. What else do they have on the radar that might be happening besides Final Fantasy 17 that would be like a big tentpole for them? I always thought TGS was like mid-September. Has it been mid-September in the past, or has it always been late September? I feel like one year it was like September 10th or something like that. I don't know. I'm probably wrong, but for some reason that date is sticking out in my head. But yeah, I can't think of any big major releases. Now, releases we love and want to see, yes. There are plenty of those, but like big major market games, I can't think of anything outside of those. And Final Fantasy 17 is not in development yet because, mark my words, they are putting Hamaguchi on Final Fantasy 17, and they're going to let him handpick his team. He's probably going to bring the core staff of his remake saga team over to Final Fantasy 17. A big Square event would have to be well, yeah, but I've given up on Chrono Trigger. Dragon Quest 12 is a ways out still, Peach Booty. We're still a ways out on Dragon Quest 12. I'm talking about things that could be releasing in the next 6 to 12 months. Unless Dragon Quest 12 is further along than we think. I mean, that's always a possibility. That could be. But I don't think it is. I think we're 2 years away from that game. At least 18 months. But yeah, so I got off track. But Resident Evil Veronica, man. Like, the more I'm reading about this and the more I'm kind of seeing people talk about, even the speculation stuff that may not even be true, it's fascinating because for years, Yoshi P got kicked to the curb after 16. Well, 16 wasn't all his fault. 16 wasn't all his fault. But there was a time when Resident Evil Code Veronica was like the outlier of Resident Evil. Like, people like, oh, that game sucks. I'm like, no, what are you talking about? Code Veronica doesn't suck. It's one of the best Resident Evil games. Like, I think there was a time where it was popular, it was fashionable to dunk on Resident Evil Code Veronica for like no reason. And I think the reason was some of the hammy dialogue, and most of that came from Steve. Some of it comes from Chris. Claire's got a little bit. It's just a sign of the times. But those are fixable things. Resident Evil Veronica is going to be amazing. Amazing. Like, I have watched that trailer so many times, and the Revelation trailer for Final Fantasy VII. I've watched them so many times. People asked me to do a breakdown trailer of the Final Fantasy VII Revelation, and I was like, yeah, we could talk about it on stream, but I think there are other people out there who do breakdown trailers way better than I do. I just don't have the patience to do them. You know, I would rather come on and talk about everything we saw and get hype and break things down and what this might be in the story, what that might be in the story. But taking an hour to break down a couple minutes of a trailer, I mean, you can do it and I could do it. I just, like, I'd rather come on and have a stream and talk with you all about it. But the Veronica trailer, Revelation Veronica, that's so weird. REVVER, that's a nothing burger, but it's funny that they were announced at the same show. And they bookended the show. VERREV. I wonder if they meant that to be a thing. I wonder if they meant that to be a thing, now that I'm thinking about it. VER opens the show, REV ends the show. What? And it's Resident Evil, and it's Final Fantasy. Look, man, that game, that Summer Games Fest, I loved it. It was great. But apparently there's going to be, like, Claire's going to have some mechanic ability. Like, she has some ability to fix things up. Chris is going to have some different gameplay abilities for puzzle solving and stuff like that. I think, look, dude, Claire being able to work on things, like as a mechanic, I think is a great nod to what her character was classically. Like, she rides into Raccoon City on a motorcycle. What if she built that motorcycle? What if she built that and fixed it up herself and came into town on that? Now, I don't know the lore behind her motorcycle. I know almost all the lore about RE1 and a lot of it about RE2, but RE1 was an obsession of mine for a couple of years. Like, I wrote a movie script for RE1, like my version of RE1. And I still haven't let it out there because I'm close to some things right now, and I'm like, if I ever get in the room with the right people, I might like put it on their desk and be like, yo, what do you think of this? But anyway, like, having Claire have like an ability to work on things, have mechanics sensibilities, and be able to fix machines and stuff, that goes a lot further than just fixing up like vehicles to get around Rockford Island in. I mean, she could work on mechanical doors. Like Resident Evil, there's always like crazy labs with busted machinery and stuff. What if she could fix up a lot of that stuff, get the lights on in this place, fix the machinery, fix a door that won't open anymore, like an electronic door, boom, you can fix that. The possibilities are endless with that. I think that could be a lot of fun. I have read the George Romero script like 5 times. Like, I haven't compared it to it because it's George Romero. I mean, he's an incomparable horror mind. But there are things I thought were cool in his script, but didn't work in the version of the story. My version of this, I'm just going to say this real quick. I'm not going to get off on this too much, but like my version, what I wrote years and years ago, it deals with getting to know all the members of STARS, like before they go investigate the mansion, even the Bravo team. It gets into like getting to know their personalities, getting to be with them while they're on like some SWAT team shit, taking down like drug dealers and like high-speed chases. And it gets into some of that stuff without getting too, like making a whole movie just about that. Like it spends about 10 to 15 minutes with all that, and it gets into Chris's backstory, and it focuses on his backstory and him being brought into STARS. And then you get to know everybody else, and Jill's a big major component of that. And like when Barry brings Chris into STARS, Barry's like telling Wesker he could be a guy. He could be a guy. And Wesker's like, oh, okay, we'll see, you know. But you don't know what they're talking about if you don't know what Resident Evil is. If you do know what it is, you know what they're talking about, bringing him in, about being in on this whole umbrella conspiracy and making him a part of the team of evil, you know. He's got something over Barry, but, you know, it's almost like when Darth Vader is talking to Darth Sidious, and this was actually the inspiration for it. When Darth Vader is talking to Palpatine in Empire Strikes Back, he's like, you know, and Palpatine says, the son of Skywalker must not become a Jedi. And then Darth Vader's like, he will join us or die. And then Sidious is like, can it be done? You know, and he's like, yes, he'll be a great asset. It's kind of like that. Treating Chris like Luke Skywalker in that scenario, and Barry's like Darth Vader, and then like Wesker's like Sidious. That's where my idea came from for that. And so like you get to know these characters, so when you lose them, it's a big deal. Like, you feel it, you know? And I think you can do that in a 2-hour movie if you just focus on the Arklay Mountain incident. So, Richard did get a raw deal in that game. He gets a raw deal in a few different ways, depending on which way you go. Absolutely. It would add a lot to her character. I think it's something you could use. Yeah, and I still love that commercial. It's a great commercial. Yeah, exactly. Like planting little seeds, like the fun little mystery parts of horror. Great horror movies have like a little bit of mystery to them, you know. And then when the Scooby Doo mask is pulled off at the end of the horror, you know, you're like, oh, it was this. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh no, you know. That's why the twist at the end of Resident Evil is so good. It's like, oh, it's your captain. It's Wesker. Oh my God, f that guy. You know what I mean? He got everybody killed. Well, yeah, and like one of the things, like in, you know, my story is like Chris has a hard time meshing with the rest of the team, and so like there are a couple of the Bravo team members that are like his drinking buddies, kinda. Um, so I'd have to go back and read the script. There are some things I always wanted to change in there, but yeah, it would be a fun read sometime with you all. But like I said, I'm just kind of, I don't want to put it out there because I might, here in the next year or two, I could be in a room with some people, which might be kind of interesting if things take off with what I'm working on. So, but someday we will have a read. Like, one of the things is like Kenneth Sullivan in my script is Chris's drinking buddy. He's one of them, and Richard will have a drink with him every now and then. Richard Aiken, he'll kind of have a drink with him every now and then. But like, so before Bravo team goes off, him and Chris go have shots and everything, and they're talking, and you know, they're just both like, I don't know, man, this feels weird. You know, this doesn't feel like some crazy squatters of this. This feels like really weird. Like they both have like a weird feeling about it. Not like on a psychic connection kind of way, but just like they have like a very weird, bad feeling about what this could be. Like a couple of people might not come back. You know, that kind of feeling. So it's anyway. Like I said, I don't want to get too far into that, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, well, that's the one thing about Resident Evil Zero is I felt like was a missed opportunity is like you could have gotten to know these characters a lot more, you know, a lot more about these characters, and maybe drop some lines about some Alpha Team members, you know, just talking about some of them. But Resident Evil Zero really truly needs to be remade, like full on remake of that game. Like some of the situations, like. Remember, I was playing Resident Evil Zero, and I got to the church with the bat fight, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm done. This game is terrible. I'm done." I forgot how bad it was. The story, fine. The story's fine, but I don't know, man. They took so many chances with gameplay, and they tried so many like wild and nuts things. It's just too much, man. It gets to a point where it doesn't feel like Resident Evil anymore. And Resident Evil Zero is weird for that. 6 was kind of like that too. It just didn't feel like Resident Evil. Like the first couple hours of the game did, you know. And Resident Evil 6 had cool points, like Chris and Leon's showdown. That was kind of cool, and like a couple of the boss fights were cool. But again, it felt like crazy, you know, ADHD era Capcom super action physics. There's like action all over the screen to the point where it feels like it's gonna bust the TV screen. You know, that's not Resident Evil, man. The tablet on the were you watching my stream? I was like, the little stone icon thing. I was like, how the fuck did this get here? But yeah, RE0 remake is rumored, but now with the whole like non-physical things with games or whatever, I'm like, please Capcom, just go ahead and make RE1. That has to be on my shelf. The RE1 remake has to be on my shelf. It has to be on my shelf. Period. If they could just skip RE0 remake. But here's the thing, like, if it's to be believed that 2028, January 1, that's the end of physical media, well, after Resident Evil Veronica, there will be no more physical Resident Evil cases. That's nuts. That's insane. And hopefully Limited Run will make some stuff. And here's the other thing too. It's like Capcom, you know, what's Capcom's say in all this? You know what I mean? Like, is Capcom like just gonna be like, you know? So okay, so here's my thing. And I don't know if people are asking these questions or not about the physical media thing. And I don't want to get back on this because I feel like my point is made. But so like third-party companies, if they make a PS5 disc for Resident Evil, is Sony just going to be like, it will not work in our system? I mean, you have to have patches and stuff like that. Will they not support that? I mean, you'd have to have patches and stuff for digital anyway when they want to do uploads and will fix things that are buggy or whatever. Just instantly fix them or whatever on digital. If third-party companies make physical games for your PS5, are they just not going to work? Now, see, that's the part of coding and stuff that I don't really understand. Like, if you make a game that can be readable on the Sony PlayStation 5, will it work? Or does Sony have to flip a switch at Command Central for your game to work on there? I don't know. But I know that I will be very unhappy if when they make Resident Evil 1 Remake, there's not a physical copy on my shelf. Limited run games, you can make one. You can just print a disc. Whatever, I'll put it on my shelf. Looking at you, Limited Run. Don't let me down. Don't let your boy down. Let's go. Let's go, man. Yeah, Chris, I think that's smart. Like, if you look at what they've done, they've taken a few liberties with, like, the Resident Evil 4 remake, the Resident Evil 2 remake, like some small things, like a big RE nerd like me notices, like layout stuff and everything. But, you know, with the care and precision they're handling with at Capcom, it doesn't bother me. Especially with the Development Division 1, when they're handling this stuff. Like, Resident Evil Requiem is still just an absolutely incredible game. Requiem is amazing. Like, I'll still pull it out and play it for 15 to 20 minutes. It's amazing. Like, I didn't like playing as Grace at first, but I got used to that. I got used to it, and I was like, oh, it's actually really fun to play as her. You know what I mean? And I enjoy that character. I have not tried to platinum it. I just go and play it for fun from time to time. I am not going to try to go through the game and not make stuff for Grace with blood. I don't need to kick myself in the teeth to have a good time. I don't want to do that. But it's still fun to just go and play. But making everything feel connected, I think, is actually the right move for Resident Evil moving forward. Because, you know, when they made Resident Evil 1, 2, and even Nemesis, they didn't know that in 2030, you know, if we're all fortunate enough to make it to 2030, let's say 2026, they'd still be releasing Resident Evil games. They had no idea that this would be a 30-year franchise. They had no idea. And no one ever does, you know? So they didn't have the foresight back then. Like, oh, we're going to take it here, we're going to go there, we're going to accidentally make Resident Evil 6, and then we're going to accidentally make Umbrella Corps. Then we're going to have to retcon everything, and we're going to have to take it back to everybody's granny's house in the woods and Resident Evil 7, and, you know. But yeah, I think them making everything feel connected is good. It's good. I think it's a good idea. And Capcom's just cooking, just all burners on, all ovens running. I mean, they're running a full kitchen right now, and nobody's doing it better than Capcom right now. Nobody's even close to doing it as good as Capcom right now. And whatever direction they want to take Resident Evil, which is their top franchise, whichever way they want to take it, just go ahead and do it. Just do it. And it's like I always say, whether you agree or disagree with people and the way they're telling their stories and stuff, like Final Fantasy VII Remake Saga has tons of detractors. People don't like the direction, and you know, I'm like, well, it's Square's story. You know, they can do what they want to with it. That's not me throwing shade at other people who disagree. That's actually my way of dealing with things when I don't like what people do with them. Like the Rings of Power on Amazon. You all know how much I love the Lord of the Rings, right? Love the Lord of the Rings. I've always wanted to see the Silmarillion produced. So when Rings of Power was being announced, I was like, yes, all right, sweet. And it's just not for me. I just don't think it's very good. But Amazon bought the rights to it, and they can, and the Tolkien estate signed off on it. They can tell the story how they want. It is not for me. Sony produces all physical games, so I didn't know that. Capcom will be able to make the. Okay. So basically, these third-party companies, they deliver the package, the full finished game digitally, and then Sony produces the discs. Okay, I didn't know how that worked. Yeah, Onimusha's coming out September 4th. I'm excited about that. Yeah, Rings of Power is a fanfic. That's a great. If Ever Crisis is a fanfic, then Rings of Power is absolutely a fanfic. Rings of Power is Amazon's Ever Crisising the Lord of the Rings. That's what that is. What sucks for me about Ever Crisis is there were so many opportunities to do some cool stuff, and in the beginning it kind of looked like they were going to do some cool stuff with the backstory and the lore and everything, and it just comes off as sloppy fan fiction. The Hunt for Golem, I think, will be very good. I do think that'll be good. This will be 2 movies, right? Are they doing 2 movies for that? And I don't even mind them recasting Aragorn, because Peter Jackson's overseeing it, and Fran Welsh as well. So I think they are the minds for this. And Ian McKellen's already said, he's like, look, as long as I'm alive, nobody else is playing Gandalf. Which I love that he's so protective of the character. But Hunt for Golem's going to be really good. And aren't they considering doing another movie, another film, I think? Which I'm really excited. I'm going to Fan Expo in Chicago in August, and I'm actually going to finally get to meet and talk to a lot of the cast members of Lord of the Rings. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, getting in at the front end of September, with September being as loaded as it is, and October starting to fill up now too. That's smart. Sephiroth's backstory in Ever Crisis was pretty. The concept of the backstory is okay. The writing's pretty bad. Like, the writing is pretty bad. Like, just the dialogue. Some of the dialogue is just, like, unreadable. And not necessarily from him. Like, I've seen some evil Sephiroth pontificating moments, and I'm like, man, this comes off like I don't even know what this almost comes off like Monty Python wrote this. It's almost like Almost feels like it's supposed to be, you're supposed to be laughing at some of this dialogue. By what name do you go by? There are those who call me Tim. Greetings, Tim the Enchanter. There are those who call me Sephiroth. Greetings, Sephiroth the Destroyer. Stephen Colbert's making a Lord of the Rings movie. I don't know anything about that. Yeah. I think Peter Jackson has an idea for this movie. Yeah. Yeah, I watched the most recent live stream bit with Aerith and everything, and while I just love Aerith and her character, I've always loved Aerith. You know, she's one of the few toys I still kept from that original Bandai run back in the day. Like, I've still got Aerith and Cloud. I still got Aerith and Cloud still in the blister pack. I love Aerith so much. Just, you know, as a child who lost her family and doesn't know her people and everything. It's just like, but even my love for that character wasn't enough for me to be like, to say, okay, I love this live stream segment. I felt like I was actually in the live stream pushing against the stream, trying to like this segment of the story. And in the end, it was just this big cluster mess of, I was like, what? This is this is bad fan fiction. And I didn't want to be the guy to say that. I'm very positive about Final Fantasy VII. It's the greatest video game ever made. It's the greatest story ever told in the game. And I love the remake saga. I wanted to love Ever Crisis. But I just can't get behind it, man. I just can't get behind it. You know, it's really not good. The Holy Grail, yes. Me and my wife went and saw the play Spamalot a few weeks ago. It was awesome. We loved it. The cast was great. It was hilarious. Oh yeah, HBO is great. Like, I don't like all their shows because a lot of it's just not for me, but you can't deny the quality of those shows. The quality is amazing on their shows. I have a very specific way I like my fantasy shows and stuff. Game of Thrones is, I like parts of it. There are other parts I don't like very much. But for what it is, I mean, I have not seen anything after season 8 of Game of Thrones, the original Game of Thrones show. I haven't seen House of the Dragon. I haven't seen Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I haven't seen those shows just because they kind of fell in a part of my life that's just crazy busy. Me and my wife right now, we're watching Apple TV shows right now. We're watching the new Cape Fear is excellent. The new Cape Fear is excellent. It's so well written. And we're watching Severance, which I wasn't sure if I was going to like or not, but I actually am really enjoying the concept of it. Yeah, I've heard that, Chris. I've heard Night of the Seven Kingdoms is really good. It takes place 14 years after Frodo passes. You mean when he goes into the Grey Havens? Severance, yeah, it's a trippy kind of like sci-fi concept on Apple TV. It's got Adam, I forget his last name. He's a comedic actor. He's been in a lot of comedies. I'll put it that way. He's in it, and it's got John Turturro, a few other people, but it's actually pretty good. I'm really enjoying it. We're only a couple of episodes in, but I'm really enjoying it right now. And she turned me on to that, like all these Apple TV shows that we had never watched. Cape Fear is really good. A new episode of that just dropped. We're going to watch that tomorrow night after I get off work. That'll be fun. The guy who was the villain in No Country for Old Men is playing what's the bad guy's name in Cape Fear? Now I'm forgetting it. Crap. Anyway, it's good. It's good. Yeah, Ben Stiller's directing it, but it's actually, it doesn't, it's not like funny. I mean, there's some humor in it, but it's not like funny. It's weird. It's really weird and kind of uncomfortable. Best way I can put it. But it's good. There's this like whole like sci-fi conspiracy thing going on with messing with people's brains or whatever, and it's really interesting. Oh, Chris, I think I did see that. I think I saw on social media they were taking a picture or something like that together, and I was like, I didn't think anything about it because I know Colbert is like a massive Lord of the Rings fan. I thought he was just hanging out with Peter Jackson. But I didn't know that was like a publicity shoot. No Country for Old Men was absolutely wild. That was a movie people slept on when that came out, but every now and then I think about that movie and I'm like, man, no, that was really just a brilliant movie when you think about Sugar, whatever his name is that he plays in that movie. Yeah, it's really good. Oh, let's go Sox. I think you know what I misspoke earlier when I said after Pragmata I don't know what I want to play. In my notes, my iOS notes, I've actually got Trails in the Sky 1 remake as the next game I'm going to play. I think I actually said that on that stream actually, so thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, Trails in the Sky will be what I play when I finish Pragmata. I might even start it before I finish Pragmata. Um, Okay. Oh, so House of the Dragon's still going? How long does it take to produce that show? They've been making that show for a while, right? They're only starting the third season? Or maybe time's just flying so much that I just think it's been longer than it has. But yeah, everybody talks about the Trails series. I started to play the Trails of Cold Steel 4 or whatever that came out like maybe 4 or 5 years ago or something like that. I started to play a demo of that and I enjoyed it, but I never got back to it. No, that's fine. I don't mind a slow pace, even a plodding pace at points, as long as I'm enjoying myself, enjoying the journey. Coen Brothers is very good. Trying to think who did Oh Brother Where Art Thou? That's the Coen Brothers, right? It's Coen Brothers. They also did Hail Caesar, which sucked. But I think that's the only blemish on their record for me. They also did The Big Lebowski, which I'd never given a ton of thought to that movie. I'd seen it a few times, thought it was funny, but when I met my wife, it's like her favorite movie. So like, we watch it once every couple of years, and I've got this newfound appreciation for The Big Lebowski. Like, I love like the weirdness and the lore of that movie, and just how they write their movies. Like, I love Oh Brother Where Art Thou. That's a good one. But yeah, I love Oh Brother Where Art Thou just because of all the southern reference in it that is actually correct. There's so much like southern speak and like little things, little mannerisms that people do and say, and how they twist a word or whatever, or how their mannerisms, how they look around. And George Clooney's southern anyway. He's from right here in Kentucky, so it's funny watching him kind of tap into that. I get a good laugh every time I watch it because I'm like, oh yeah, I've got an uncle who acts like that, or ooh, I say that sometimes when I'm mad, like the southern comes out. It's like, oh, sometimes it comes out, it raises to the surface, more so than it does already in the way I speak. Big Lebowski's great. I mean, I feel like that's a whole universe in and of itself, right? Didn't they do a movie about Jesus on Netflix? Like there was like a spin-off Big Lebowski movie about the Jesus, the bowler. You don't fuck with the Jesus will fuck with you. Oh, I've seen Raising Arizona. Oh yeah. That's what made Nicolas Cage. Yeah, I've seen that movie many, many times. It has been a while since I watched it though. I had a roommate at one time who loved that movie. He'd pop in the DVD. He'd get high and pop in the DVD and just watch it. I'd just sit and watch it with him after work. Like, what have you been doing? Sitting here getting high. Oh, okay, I just got off work. Were you watching Raising Arizona? I'll watch it with you. I'll eat some cold pizza and watch it with you. Well, guys, I'm going to hop off here for the night. Do a couple things. Get to bed at a semi-respectable time and try and get up at a good time tomorrow and get some work done. But hoping to finish up this Adventures of Elliot review tomorrow and get it online before I go to work for everybody to watch and enjoy. But yeah, I just want to come on tonight, have a real chill conversation stream, and put some miles on the channel here. You know how we do. Because physical media is going to be dead in 2028. I may not be gaming after 2028, so let's go ahead and get some mileage out of this channel while I can, right? And just tell it like it is. So appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out. All the usual suspects, appreciate you all. Socks, Chris, Magus, Beck, Gaijin, a lot of the usual suspects. Zach for popping in while you're at work. Y'all have a great night. Be safe. Be good to each other. Keep rocking. Enjoy the new less laggy stream, and I'll catch you all tomorrow night for maybe some Pragmata. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Happy 4th of July weekend coming up. Go see some fireworks, eat some hot dogs, hang out with some friends, have a good time. Happy birthday, America 250 this weekend. And I'll see you all later.